Welcome everyone in to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's the PGR eSports Intimidator Superspeedway series, and it's week 3 of 4 for the Craftsman Trucks Mini Championship Series. But tonight we have heavy hearts here in the NASCAR world, and it's hard for me even to deliver the message that I'm about to here tonight, but obviously a lot of you already know Kyle Busch, one of the all-time greats in NASCAR, passed away today at the age of 41. Kyle was a two-time Cup Series champion, and man, does he leave behind an unforgettable legacy on and off the track. Our thoughts, everyone in this race, as well as everyone here at PGR, are with his wife Samantha, his son Brexton, and his daughter Lennox here tonight, his entire family, his brother Kurt Busch as well, the entire NASCAR community. And tonight we race for Kyle Busch, as you see here on screen, with his wife and his son Brexton, who is followed racing here as he is growing up, and his daughter as well, and we all know their story and how long it took them to have their children and go through IVF and everything that came with. We'll get out their link to their foundation here tonight at some point as well. PGR eSports will be donating to their foundation to help other kids and parents that go through the IVF process. So a little bit subdued here tonight. We are going to go through a couple heats, and yeah, we'll get this race going on. But definitely our thoughts and prayers with the Kyle Busch family here tonight as we get set for heat number 1 of 2 here at Charlotte. And you see right here, there's going to be 2 15-lap heats here tonight. And the top 20 in each heat will advance to the feature race tonight. And we'll have 1 feature race, 70 laps, 80% fuel, 1 green-white checker if we need it. Full field here tonight in remembrance of the great Kyle Busch. And here on lap number 1, we'll have a moment of silence as these trucks that he loved so much, 69 victories in total in the Craftsman trucks for Kyle Busch, take the green flag. And as I was going to say, lap number 1 in the books, we do have a caution out here. Mike Ardrey involved in this one. So a caution here. Lap 1, coming to lap number 2, Malik Ray. Currently your leader here at Charlotte, Dylan Jones, 2nd, Daniel Falkingham in 3rd. The groups will be decided tonight after both heats take place. There'll be a randomizer. So if you did see that flyer, it'll be 2 groups getting payouts. So top 5 in group 1, top 5 in group 2. And man, do we have a lot of bonuses here in tonight's race. And a lot of them $18. We got from Ethan Eckert and Brian Hennings to a random wheel spin for any of the drivers in a Kyle Busch paint scheme here tonight. Cameron Craighead has donated a couple sets of $18. The lap 18 leader here tonight in the feature, as well as the 18th place finisher in the feature. Howard Struther tonight donated $69 for Kyle Busch's 69 Craftsman truck wins, and that'll go to tonight's race winner. Wyatt Gray came in with the couple as well, as he will provide $18 to the highest finishing driver in Group 1 with a KB paint. And in Group number 2, we'll get the same thing, the highest finisher with a KB paint. Evan Carlbond, $51 tonight for the 9th place finisher in the feature. And that stands for Kyle Busch's 9th in the all-time Cup wins. PGR eSports will also donate a lot here tonight. Each heat winner will get $18. There'll be $18 going to the highest finisher in the top 10 with the least incident points. That'll carry over to 11th through 20th and 21st through 30th. And the highest finisher who does not qualify here tonight will also receive $18. So you cannot qualify there prior to these heats in order to receive that. There's also a really big bonus here tonight that could possibly be won. That's from Daniel Falkingham. And that went out to the driver who qualifies on the pole, but chooses to start in last place for the feature and get the race win. So whoever starts on the pole tonight, and that'll be a driver here that qualified the fastest, but we'll have to get a stipulation on that considering there are 2 heats tonight. But a little subdued start. We will get a little bit more energy as the night goes on. 20 trucks here take the green in this heat. And I do not believe anyone will go home. Cody Neagle's on the list, but that's because he's going to carry a very special pace truck here tonight for the feature race. And a lot going on here tonight. We're going to join up in the live race control booth with Cody Neagles real quick before we go back green. Cody, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, obviously a subdued start to the night. We'll hopefully carry some more energy as we go through. We'll definitely have some more words with you later tonight. Do have a couple questions here for some of these drivers, so we'll let you kind of take care of it. Obviously, a big possible bonus will go out tonight for a driver who qualifies on the pole but chooses to start in the rear for the feature and win the race. So with these 2 heats, we'll let you announce to the drivers here tonight, any driver, the driver who wins this heat and the driver that wins heat number 2, it'll go to the fastest of the 2 qualifying times. So if Malik Ray were to win this heat, and let's just say you have a Garrett Maines or whoever win heat number 2, we will then take the highest or the best qualifying time out of the 2, and that'll be the driver who can elect to go to the back to win the race and the big bonus from Daniel Falkingham. We'll let Cody announce that to the drivers. We'll get back up to the broadcast booth, and we'll get set to go back green here at Charlotte. It's Malik Ray, Dylan Jones on the front row for the restart. 10 laps to go now here in heat number 1. Malik Ray back out front. The driver of the Junior Motorsports machine in the NASCAR Coke Series got his start on Tuesday night for the new season. As Sean Conklin now into the top 3. Daniel Falkingham now right behind. He works on the back bumper. Malik Ray gets into him just a bit. Malik Ray gets a little loose there. Now he comes up in front. Here comes Conklin as well as Dylan Jones. And remember, these will set the field for tonight's feature, and no truck will go home, I do not believe, here tonight. Axel Smith up 3 positions early, as he just gets passed by Ellis for the 5th spot. So Axel Smith back in 6th. Want to thank Simrat Market for coming on board, sponsoring over here at PGR eSports, simratmarket.com. Some of the best wraps for your paints in all of iRacing. Make sure you give them a follow on their social media pages as well as their website. And we have a wreck here out back. James Waring around. Brian Hennings in the 700cars.com is around as well. So the second call, well, we're not going to go relaxed cautions here. So we'll stay green for now. Caution will fly. And the second caution flag here of heat number 1 is out for Brian Hennings and James Waring. And here you see it. Hennings is going to go here. And I think he's just going to self-spin on exit of the turn. And yeah, that he is. And the 57 has nowhere to go there, as he's turned right across the nose. James Waring, ooh, the 103 of Jet Rashidi goes into the wall as well. And we'll see if we could get a good chopper view of this. Here comes Hennings. He's going to spin here on exit. Carl Bonds in the 51 Snickers. Kyle Busch machine tonight. And he just doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to turn Hennings down into Waring. Here comes Rashidi. He's carrying the Rowdy Energy. 103 tonight. A lot of Kyle Busch paint schemes out here on the track. So hopefully they can get those back up and ready for the feature race here tonight. There's an M&M's Toyota right there. Awesome to see out here on the track. Appreciate these drivers doing that. You see Kyle Busch taking a bow there aside the HendrickCars.com. Chevrolet of Brian Hennings. Back here live at Charlotte. The first of many Kyle Busch tributes here tonight. And what a day for everyone here, obviously in the NASCAR world, as we get set to go green this time by, as the second caution flag comes to an end here. Malik Gray, Sean Conklin will start here on the front row. Remember, these heats will line up our field for the feature race here tonight. Do not believe any trucks will go home, and that's a good thing here tonight. A lot of drivers donating money here tonight for a lot of Kyle Busch bonuses. Logan Corkins in the chat tonight. I think, no, just showing the tribute. I would assume everything's good as far as the broadcast goes. Devin Ray out here as well. And a tough start for me tonight. I'll get it together, though. I definitely wasn't sure how it was going to hit me talking about here tonight when we went on air, but definitely got to me. You know, I turned 40 yesterday, Kyle Busch 41. And, you know, having two little guys and just crazy, you know, you got to, it's really, you never know. You're not promised tomorrow. And Kyle Busch here at his interview after he won the truck race at Dover on Saturday. And you just never knew when it's your last one. And, man, nothing more true. And crazy how such things come to fruition. just several days later. But here we go. Malik Ray, Sean Conklin on the front row to the restart zone. Green flag, back in the air at Charlotte. A battle here, and here comes the 18 Toyota. 3 wide off the turn. And what a battle here with just 2 laps to go in heat number 1. It's Ray, Falkingham, Conklin, Ellis, Dillon, Jones battling for the lead. Riding on board here with Dillon Jones, currently 6th. And you see, oh, it looks like Ellis is going to get turned by Sean Conklin. White flag here for the first heat of the night. Malik Ray, your current leader. He's led 14 laps. Daniel Falkingham tracking him for the time being. And he's going to try to get out of his wake here for that draft. Falkingham now to the bottom on the back bumper of Malik Ray. Malik Ray, though, out of turn number 4 has the lead. And Malik Ray will win the first heat here at Charlotte. Malik Ray goes to victory lane here in heat number 1 tonight. He'll have a chance at the Daniel Falkingham bonus, which we'll get to a little bit later tonight. And he will just have to have the best qualifying time against the driver who wins heat number 2 here tonight. So that is how the Daniel Falkingham bonus will work. So essentially, it's a $234 bonus from Daniel Falkingham, but it's not guaranteed. You must sit on the pole. So now you have Malik Ray, and whomever wins here in heat number 2, whoever has the lowest qualifying time will essentially be deemed your pole sitter, and they can elect to go to the back of the field for the feature. And if they were to win from the back, Daniel Falkingham would pay them $234. So that is a wild bonus right there. That these drivers have a possibility of winning here tonight. Ethan Eckert sits on pole here, I believe, for heat number 2 tonight. Garrett Maines will be to his outside, so Ethan Eckert, the young buck, looks to go to victory lane here in heat number 2, as he had the fastest time amongst this heat drivers. Garrett Maines will start 2nd, Casey Sprinkle 3rd, Max Dynda in 4th, and David Flanagan will start 5th in this heat. So 15 laps here, and then we will have a brief warm-up period before the 70-lap feature here tonight. Cameron Craighead, one of the drivers who donated here tonight for some of the bonuses, will start in the rear of the field here for heat number 2. Kenny McCullough Jr. back here. Joey Allen, Daniel Eberhardt going to try to come from the back as well. So gearing up for another heat here on a Thursday night. It's the PGR Intimidator Superspeedway Series here live from Charlotte. It's the 3rd race of 4 for NASCAR Craftsman Trucks Mini Championship Series. Ethan Eckert, Garrett Maines approach the restart zone, and the green flag is back out at Charlotte. Ethan Eckert will lead here down the backstretch right in front of Garrett Maines. Casey Sprinkles entered the equation here as he pilots here on the bottom of the racetrack. As we come out of turn number 4, wow, there's going to be a wreck here in the middle of the racetrack. Josh McCullough's around, as is believe that was Cameron Craighead. Yep, Craighead all the way to the inside wall here. Down pit lane, caution out for the first time here in heat number 2. And Josh McCullough goes around. The 81's going to help that issue out. And just nowhere to go. It looks like Daniel Eberhardt's able to squeak through. Here comes Craighead as he gets into, I believe, Jude Rand. And we'll go back here and get in a chopper camera and take a peek at this one. See at the top of your screen here. Yeah, the 81's going to hit the wall and come down. I believe that's Jude Rand. Gets into Josh McCullough. That's going to send McCullough back up the track here. And there's where Craighead comes in. He had nowhere to go there. And there's Krispy Kreme number 5 of Jude Rand up and into the wall. So pretty big lick here for a couple of these drivers in the back of this field to start here in heat number 2. You see Craighead's going to slide across the infield grass, actually end up hitting the inside pit lane. So Craighead's got a lot of left front damage there, and he'll need to get this back up and going here for the feature race here tonight. But back up front, it's all Ethan Eckert, Casey Sprinkle, as we take another moment of silence for the great Kyle Busch. Back here live at Charlotte. Pace car lights out. We'll go green here next time by. Some really cool paint schemes going through this field right now. And there's an awesome one for David Flanagan, the 18 double mitt Kyle Busch machine here tonight. Got Jeff Merck in the Car Quest number 5. That's pretty cool as well. Yeah, look at that. Tyler Vickery here in the Z-Line Designs, number 51, in honor of Kyle Busch. So pretty cool, these drivers coming out here tonight to honor Kyle. A few more back here as well. You see the Interstate Batteries machine there. Brock Westmoreland. Pretty cool stuff right here. Well, Ethan Eckert, Casey Sprinkle get set for this green flag, as the first caution will come to an end here in heat number 2 tonight. Into the restart zone once again. Green flag back in the air. A great start here from Ethan Eckert, as Garrett Maines in the Wigan Water Technologies Toyota will work the bottom lane right in front of Casey Sprinkle. Max Dinah now up here into the top 4, and here comes Nathan Harper in the number 4 Chick-fil-A machine tonight. A couple Kyle Busch paint schemes. They're on the move. It's Jeff Merkins, David Flanagan as well, and a driver we haven't seen in some time. One of the all-time greats here in PGR when he ran. It's Alex Hill in the 77. We got another caution flag here. Caution back out. Trying to find out for who. It's possible here that Kenny McCullough was involved. He's having some trouble here down the backstretch. So get there to that replay here in just a second. Go back here. Keep an eye on Kenny McCullough in the 7. Still not quite sure what happened here. And we don't really see anything just yet on the racetrack, so not quite sure what brought out this second caution. Kenny McCullough's kind of low on the track there, still looking okay. It looks like something happened maybe closer to the front. See some smoke, but not quite sure here what happened. Josh McCullough's back here, but we know he had some issues earlier. Cameron Crackett on pit lane. So yeah, not quite sure here what brought out the second caution flag here in heat number 2, but we will carry on here as the drivers come along here and log another lap here. As the pace car lights stay on, we'll take another quick break and a moment of silence for Kyle Busch. See if we could dial up one of the drivers here in this heat. It's PGR's own Tyler Vickery and the Z-Line Design Kyle Busch paint scheme here tonight. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. Well, obviously heavy hearts here tonight up in the broadcast booth, and I'm assuming in the cars down there on the racetrack here in Charlotte. And tonight we're going to bring in some drivers. Start with you here tonight. And before you go back green here, man, share a special thought and or remembrance of the great Kyle Busch.
I've got two different ones. One is like just seeing how he was able to seeing what he was able to do and being able to move up to the front and win the championship after his big wreck that he had in Daytona for the 2019 championship. The other one's kind of more like the personal one where he actually during the when the Daytona race was still in August, we had a super late model race on a Thursday. Kyle came by and actually ran in the super lates with us at New Smyrna Speedway. Had a chance to meet him in person. Great guy in person, and it was just. I know a lot of people always talk about all the heated stuff as a driver, but as a person, he was a really kind person. So I was a little shocked to hear the news about that. So it was just. He was a really cool person to talk with, especially when he was there running at New Smyrna. Would have loved to have seen him come back another time, but yeah, it was really heartbreaking hearing about that. So hopefully Brexton will be able to continue on his dad's legacy later on, especially with that rivalry with him and Kevin's son now.
Well, absolutely. Some kind words there from Tyler Vickery as we get set to go back green here at Charlotte. Pace car back to pit lane. Ethan Eckert led every lap here in heat number 2 tonight. And we'll see if Garrett Maines has anything for him here on this restart. Green flag back in the air at Charlotte. Eckert still ahead of Garrett Maines, and he is doing great here tonight. Garrett Maines back in the NASCAR Coke Series as he's tried to look underneath Ethan Eckert here down the backstretch. Casey Sprinkle, Max Dinda still battling for that third position at the moment. David Flanagan back up here into the top 5. And there goes a great battle here. 3 wide between Jeff Merck, Alex Hill on the high side, Nathan Harper on the bottom. 3 wide at Charlotte. Oh, and they're going to come off the turn, nearly get into one. And there's some great racing here with 5 laps to go. I'm not quite sure if Ethan Eckert and or Malik Ray had the better qualifying lap here tonight, but they have a shot nonetheless at a big bonus possibly from Daniel Falkingham as Alex Hill looks now right behind 18 of David Flanagan. He's going to scrape the wall. This is the big battle on the track. Here comes the 90 of Daniel Eberhardt as well. He's made his way through this field, up 9 positions now into the top 8. They're going to get, Dinda's hooked into the wall. Caution flag out. Jeff Merck gets into Dinda. And man, Dinda was up there in the top 4. Oh, he's going to get into it with the 18 of Flanagan. As our third caution flag here is out. We'll go back. Look at this racing. Yeah, and I think Dinda's, man, that's tough. We'll have to look at the chopper and see whose fault that was. But wow, what a wreck there. Watch here from behind the 18 of David Flanagan. I think that'll give us a good viewpoint here in the chopper cam. Try to figure out what caused this caution here. Merck's working on the back bumper of Dinda. Dinda's loose. And here comes the 18 of Flanagan. As he gives Merck a nudge, Dinda's kind of offset from Merck. So possibly a racing incident there. Not quite sure. But Dinda, man, those left sides get off. And I don't believe Alex Hill did anything there. That is what brings out our third caution. Here comes Dinda as well as Flanagan to pit lane. So Dinda coming into his box. Yeah, he's probably got some wheel damage there for sure. Having trouble actually getting into the box. That's a great view of that. So got to get in that box a certain way in order to take service. And Max Dinda, definitely some wheel damage tonight. Josh McCullough, Cameron Craig had also some problems here in this heat. So they'll be starting in the back for tonight's feature, that's for sure. But a back up front, Ethan Eckert, Garrett Maines, Casey Sprinkle going to take the green flag here in a couple laps. And that should decide who will win here in heat number 2 tonight. Pace car lights set to go off here. And next time by, we'll take that green flag again. And don't forget, we'll have a little bit of a warm-up, a 5-minute warm-up here tonight between heat number 2 and the feature race tonight. So bear with us during that time. A lot of viewers here tonight as we honor the late and great Kyle Busch. And prayers to his family, his wife, Samantha, son, Brexton, daughter, Lennox. His mom and dad, his family, his brother Kurt, who raced alongside him growing up in Las Vegas, Nevada. driver for Hendrick Motorsports at one time, as well as Joe Gibbs, and currently Richard Childress Racing driver, and just won in the Hendrick Cars Truck Saturday at Dover Motor Speedway. So far for Ethan Eckert, he has led every lap, and that's surprising that he's been able to stay ahead of the one of Garrett Maines. Maines has just not found a way around him here so far tonight. Remember, each heat winner does take home a little bit of money here tonight, so money on the line in both of these heats. As the pace car is going to dive off onto pit lane, and we are set to go back green for what could be the last restart here in heat number 2. Green flag back in the air. Just 2 laps to go here. As Eckert's going to do all he can to stay ahead of that number 1. I'll tell you what, Nathan Harper, a great drive for him. Up to 30, he's up 5 positions. But Daniel Eberhardt, the biggest mover of this race, right now looking on the back bumper of Nathan Harper. He's up to 4th. That's going to put him up 13 positions from the start of this one. Daniel Eberhardt looking good early, as Ethan Eckert will take the white flag. 1 lap to go in heat number 2. Garrett Maines going to rip the wall here, try to get some run off. And I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Ethan Eckert's going to slide in front. Garrett Maines, though, has a good run here down the backstretch. He's got some draft. Can he get around Ethan Eckert? He's going to use that high lane again, all the way up to the wall. Nathan Harper actually going to look underneath Garrett Maines for second. Ethan Eckert wins heat number 2, and I think Nathan Harper. Oh, wow, we have a huge wreck. What a wreck at the start-finish line. And what an impressive drive by Nathan Harper, who actually gets ahead of Garrett Maines there. I know Garrett was doing everything he could to get the victory. But Nathan Harper, a great drive up to second. And we are going to transition here. Sorry about that. Trying to show you guys the replay, but it's going to transition me to the warm-up. As you see, the sun actually now starting to set here at Charlotte for tonight's feature race. Drivers will have 5 minutes to practice, and we will take a few-minute break. We'll be right back here live on PGR. Back here live at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we head to tonight's feature. 70 laps of action, and it's going to be action-packed with the full field here tonight. Both heat races in the books, and there you see it. Two groups going for 10 cash spots here tonight. 80% fuel in these NASCAR Craftsman trucks, and don't forget, valuable points on the line here tonight, as well as these drivers contending for the mini championship series for the Craftsman trucks here all month long. Their warm-up going to be coming to an end here shortly. We'll see if we can pull up the starting grid here tonight. Not quite sure if it'll work, but yes, it is. On row number 1 here tonight, it'll be Malik Ray. And he's possibly going to elect to start at the rear of the field for the Daniel Falkingham bonus, which could be $234 if he wins the race. And we'll have to see if he had a faster lap time than Ethan Eckert, and I would assume he did. But we are not quite sure. We'll have to get word for Cody Niegels on that. And Ethan Eckert will start on the outside of row number 1 here tonight for the feature race. And here is the rest of your starting lineup. In row number 2, it'll be Daniel Falkingham as well as Nathan Harper. What a race for Nathan Harper there in heat number 2. Rolling off on row number 3 tonight, Sean Conklin and Garrett Maines. Rolling off on row number 4, Dylan Jones and Daniel Eberhardt III. Rolling off on row number 5 tonight, Axel Smith and Casey Sprinkle. Rolling off on row number 6, it's Brandon Broadfoot and Jacob Dunn. Rolling off on row number 7 tonight, Andrew Zanto and Jeff Merck. Rolling off on row number 8, it's Trevin Ashronoff and Kenneth McCullough Jr. Rolling off on row number 9, it's Evan Carlbon and Kirk Quist. Rolling off on row number 10 tonight, it's Kevin J. Cunningham and Stephen Miles. Rolling off on row number 11, Paul Ellison and Tyler Vickery. Rolling off on row number 12, Mike Davenport and Jacob Booth. Rolling off on row 13, James Waring and Brock Westmerlin. Rolling off on row 14 tonight, Tucker McClendon and Max Steinda. Rolling off on row number 15, starting 29th, Brian Hennings. To his outside, it's David Flanagan. Rolling off tonight on row number 16, it's Chase Mastretta and Joey Allen. And rolling off on row 17 tonight, John Ellis and Alex Hill. Rolling off on row 18, Jet Rashidi and Joshua McCullough. Rolling off on row 19, it's Sean Corbett and Jude Rand. Rolling off on row 20, it's Mike Ardrey and Cameron Craighead. Keep in mind, Cody Niegels and Dustin Cowan not in the field tonight, so 40 trucks will take the green flag here tonight as we get ready for a 4-wide salute to honor the great Kyle Busch. Here comes your race controller in the 18, Cody Niegels, to parade them around in 4 wide tonight. as we honor Kyle Busch and prayers for his family, his wife Samantha, his son Brexton, his daughter Lennox. He'll forever be one of the greatest of all time in NASCAR. Well over 200 wins between the Craftsman trucks, the O'Reilly's series, as well as the NASCAR Cup Series. One of the best drivers of all time, Kyle Busch, lost his life today at the age of 41, battling an illness. He just won a truck race this past Saturday at Dover. Look at all the Kyle Busch paint schemes in this field. You see the 51s, you see the 18s. Kyle Busch will be remembered forever. And tonight, we honor him, we race for him. And we pray for all of the NASCAR family who's involved and touched by Kyle throughout the years. An unexpected death. And a tragic one at that, and some stuff you can't explain, as his son Brexton, a big racer now, and Kyle was just so involved with his son's racing, and I just can't imagine, as a father as well, 40 years old now as of yesterday for me, and having a couple sons and not being for them, man, or not being able to be there for them, and just can't imagine. That's why you really have to take every day, one day at a time, and really cherish every single day. And it's cliche, but truly, it's a tough world we do live in. But when stuff like this happens, it really puts in perspective on life in general, and the problems that we all face each and every single day. And but you can't take life for granted, that is for sure. And as Kyle said in his interview, you just never know when it's going to be your last time. And he soaked up that victory in the trucks, and we'll always remember him for everything he's done for NASCAR. But more importantly, Kyle Busch, the father and husband, and all the trials and tribulations he experienced with his wife just to have children, and going through IBF. And they were so open and candid here in the last year about their relationship as well, and counseling, and where they had to get to as a couple. And it's just real world problems, even for people in the spotlight, people that, you know, are where they are at. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you have or where you're at in life. We all deal with problems. You can't escape that. And tragedy, unfortunately, now strikes NASCAR here for the second time this year. Greg Biffle, obviously, as well, in the plane crash, and now Kyle Busch due to illness. I just can't comprehend it as these drivers start to get lined up for tonight's race. Excuse me. Good to see Cody Nagels out there leading them around still, as he will be the pace truck here that'll get us going for tonight's race. And it looks like Ethan Eckert has dropped to the back. So Ethan Eckert, with the better qualifying time than Malik Ray, will be deemed your pole sitter for the race. He has a chance at a $234 bonus if he's able to win this race here tonight. It's going to be tough to do, though, with the track position. But he's the only one that can win that Daniel Falkingham bonus here tonight. Cody Nagels is going to get ready to let these guys settle it here at Charlotte. I guess the only thing we could have done different tonight is went to Las Vegas, Kyle Busch's hometown. And I thought Daniel Eberhardt had, but too bad a little late. That was smart on him, but I'm sure we'll get something thrown up with Las Vegas here shortly. As driver's still getting in line here. Looks like we'll go one more time around and take the green flag here next time by. You see the Rowdy Forever in your top right corner of your screen, born in 1985. As Nagels continues to lead them around here. And here we go. Pace car lights off for the first time here as the sun is setting here over Charlotte Motor Speedway. We appreciate you all joining us. Most viewers we've had here as we go to start tonight's feature race. And I know it started off subdued here tonight. We'll try to pick up the energy throughout the night. We'll keep those Kyle Busch tributes coming as Cody Nagels, the race controller here tonight, is going to peel that Craftsman truck that Kyle Busch won so many times in. 69 to be exact. There's a bonus payout tonight of that amount. Cody Nagels will hit pit lane first, as will the pace car. And then it's going to be Malik Ray and Nathan Harper leading us to the green. Ethan Eckert's going to elect to start from the back and go for the big bonus here tonight. And here we go from Charlotte into the restart zone for the first time in tonight's feature. Green flag in the air. We'll have a moment of silence here tonight on lap number 8, lap number 18, lap number 51. View Kyle Busch's numbers over the years as Malik Ray leads lap number 1. Some cautions there in those heats tonight, but so far here in the early going, I know it's early, but these drivers doing a pretty good job here. Malik Ray's going to lead again. Nathan Harper up to second. It's Falkingham third. Now he's got a challenge. Garrett Maines on the outside. He's going to take that spot, it looks like, from Daniel Falkingham. Got him trying to 2 for 1 here as he goes around Nathan Harper. Garrett Maines looking strong here early. Was not able. We're going to have a wreck a little bit farther back. It's the 28 of Kurt Quist, I believe, is around. Or, yeah, Kurt Quist is the original one that was in this. A few others involved as well. First caution flag of tonight's feature is out. So we'll go back there for that replay momentarily as we get our first caution flag. Caution out for the first time here tonight in tonight's feature race. We'll go back here and take a peek and try to find out what happened. Looks like 28's going to come off here. It's kind of self-spin right above. Try to get behind here and see exactly. That's going to be, yeah, that's going to be Kurt Quist. And he's going to also collect quite a few drivers in this one. And it's hard to follow everyone tonight. Everyone carrying these Kyle Busch paint schemes. So unfortunately, not able to figure everyone out here tonight. We'll go back live here. Having some troubles a little bit for some reason with some of the overlays. So try to get that fixed really quick. We'll be right back here. And we'll be back for the green flag. I think we got everything fixed up, so been struggling here a little bit with some of the graphics, trying to incorporate a lot of different graphics here tonight. So that's kind of been our issue. So unfortunately, it's going to show some of the cautions wrong here tonight. So caution number 1 going to come to an end here as Malik Gray leads Garrett Maines. Nathan Harper, Daniel Falkingham, Daniel Eberhardt, your current top 5, is starting to get darker here at Charlotte. Lights are on, lights are bright. Thursday night's PGR eSports, one of the toughest races to win each and every week here in iRacing. As Malik Gray, Garrett Maines lead us back to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. So Malik does get the jump here. Falkingham works on the outside of Garrett Maines. 3 pros here at the front of your field. Nathan Harper, though, not too far from them at the moment. Neither is Daniel Eberhardt. Sean Conklin as well in the 51. He's going to rip that high lane. All the way up top is Conklin. He gets a run here on the outside of Harper. Now he gets some drafting help off Eberhardt. Sean Conklin to the outside. He's going to pick up the spot here. Some battle farther back. Dylan Jones now trying to get to the back bumper of Casey Sprinkle. Jeff Merck creeps into the picture. 5 spots up here. Now into the top 10. He's up to 9th. Axel Smith up to 10th. Stephen Miles now, one of the big movers here in the early going. He's up 9 positions to 11. And while we're talking about the man, Ethan Eckert, he's in 15th position, going for the big bonus from Daniel Falkingham. He could win an extra $234 if he wins tonight's race. What a payday that would be. With also the heat win as well as the race win, it would be a massive payday for Ethan Eckert if he's able to somehow get back up front and contend for the win. I'll tell you what, though, it's going to be tough. But he's got to methodically do it. 60 more laps he's got, but he's got to get up to the front and hope for a couple cautions, because it's going to be tough to get around the 3 at the top of this field right now. That one, it looked like almost off the track for a second, but they're able to get it going. Brandon Broadfoot up in the race tonight. Good to see him out here. Currently in the 12th position is Broadfoot. See tonight he started 11, so losing a couple spots. He's going to be put 3 wide. So some awesome battles here going on at Charlotte. Back up front, it's Daniel Falkingham who snatched the lead from Malik Gray, who's fallen to 3rd. Garrett Maines now in 2nd. So Falkingham, Maines, both on the same eNASCAR team for Rick Ware. Those 2 teammates. They were teammates in PGR is the Road to Pro teammates for Rick Ware Racing. Malik Ray in third drives for Junior Motorsports in the NASCAR Series. And here comes 54, Sean Conklin. The top four, some of the best drivers in this field. And one of the best as well, Daniel Eberhardt. Tell you what, he is not too far off these pros, that's for sure. As Nathan Harper now works around Eberhardt. They're going to touch. Eberhardt's going to go all the way down here into the grass. He's going to somehow, some way, he is going to save it. What a save for the 90 of Eberhardt. And he is really only going to lose one spot right here to Axel Smith. Possibly another one of his teammate Dylan Jones, but he could have lost a lot more. He gets back in line after that tangle with Nathan Harper. What a save by Daniel Eberhardt. As now farther back, you see Stephen Miles work into the picture. He started 20th tonight. He works underneath Casey Sprinkle. Broadfoot just ahead of them in the 18 Interstate Battery Machine. As Ethan Eckert now in 13th. Sprinkle hits the wall off exit. We've seen that quite a few times here so far tonight. Some great racing going on here. Max Dinda up 13 spots. Cameron Craighead put a rough go in his heat. All the way now up to 16th, 24 positions gained since the drop of the green flag. Cameron Craighead is your biggest mover so far tonight. Job well done by Craighead. We'll see if he can keep it rolling here as he works on the back. Oh, they're going to wreck here. Craighead's actually going to get through. Max Dinda involved. We have a big wreck here in the back. Another driver involved as well. We'll get to it in a minute. Wow, what a wreck here. Dinda involved. Man, Craighead was right there when this all happened. We'll go right back here and watch this one. There's the 48 of Dinda right above the 33 machine here. And there it is. Craighead's going to, I think he's going to, yeah, he's going to get into the back of Dinda. He has really nowhere to go. Let's go back and watch this again. As here comes Dinda. Yeah, there goes the 33. Is going to wash up the racetrack. Dinda was there. I believe that possibly is going to fall here on the number 33 machine. And there comes Craighead. Just really nothing. Nothing he could do. And that puts us under caution. Everyone now. A bunch staying. I believe we had a bunch stay out. Do have some takers down pit lane. And that was Jacob Dunn there that made the mistake there right in front of Dinda. You see a heavy damage to hit the right side of the 33. Jeff Merckx off pit lane in the number 5 truck. Here come a host of others. David Flanagan, Evan Carlbon, Alex Hill, Joey Allen, Kenny McCullough Jr. A lot of drivers coming down pit lane. And Jacob Dunn has a black flag meatball, so it's going to be tough for him to come back. Daniel Falkingham leads us here tonight. Garrett Maines and Malik Ray round out your current top 3. We'll take a quick break and another tribute to Kyle Busch. Pace car lights are out, set to go back green here at Charlotte next time by. And the feature race here tonight, 2 heats to start tonight. Everyone remained in the race, 40 drivers tonight here in PGR, battling for 2 groups. So 2 groups of drivers battling for the payout positions. Only the top 3 will score for the all-time record books here in PGR. Ton of bonuses going out. Ethan Eckert trying to get that big bonus here tonight. He is now 9th into the top 10, as he had to elect to go to the back to try to and win that bonus as the pole sitter here tonight. And what a drive so far for Ethan Eckert. But now here's the big thing. He's got to go through Eberhardt, Smith, Jones, Harper, Ray, Conklin, Mains, and Falkingham to try to win tonight's race. It is going to be a tough one for him. But he knows there was some groups here tonight, so if he still wants to get a good payday, he can. But that bonus does loom for Ethan Eckert tonight. A big crowd watching at home. Falkingham, Garrett Main's teammates in eNASCAR Coke Series set to take the green flags. It's back out in Charlotte. Three wide farther back, but here comes Garrett Mains. Sean Conklin as well. Caution's going to be out here. Westmoreland down into the grass. Oh, it's a pile up here. Brian Hennings, Jeff Merck involved. And a big one here. Puts us under the second yellow flag tonight here at Charlotte. So another caution flag is out here, and we had a log jam. Let's go back. Man, was Max Dinda involved in another one? I'm thinking he was right here. Keep an eye. So right in your middle of your screen, that's going to be Eberhardt battling with Ethan Eckert. It looks like, oh, they're not going to touch. Stack up a little bit. Harper. Ooh, Dinda goes to the outside as it looks like Stephen Miles was coming up. They tangle. Oh, and here comes the hard hits behind him. Nowhere to go for Rand as well as Hennings. Jet Rashidi involved. Cameron Craighead involved. Tucker McClendon in the Kyle Busch 51 paint scheme. Jacob Booth. Ooh, somebody's gonna get hit hard after the fact here. And that's what brings out our second caution flag of the night. We have a ton of drivers hitting pit lane here during the second yellow. Remember, 2 tire sets here tonight, 80% fuel. It still looks like these leaders staying out. So Falkingham continues to lead over Garrett Mains and Sean Conklin. These 3 have been solid here. Malik Ray's dropped some spots. He's back into the 6th position. Not sure if he's saving some tire or not. But he's going to be behind Jones as well as Axel Smith, just ahead of Ethan Eckert, who went to the back of this field. And this is starting to help Ethan Eckert out a lot to try to get all this track position back and battle with these leaders here at some point tonight. Looks like the pace car lights will go out here next time by, as we send all of our prayers once again to Kyle Busch, his family, his wife Samantha, son Brexton, daughter Lennox. It's tragic news here tonight and today in the NASCAR community. And I'm sure it's going to be a somber start to the Coke 600 on Sunday night in Charlotte. And I can't even imagine the driver introductions and the pageantry and Moments of silence for Kyle Busch, as well as a lot of the drivers will be put in front of a microphone here this week, and just you see a lot of their posts today on X, and just they could not believe that Kyle Busch has passed at 41 years old of an illness. A lot still to come out. We've heard some different rumors, and obviously don't want to say anything here on the air. We're not quite sure yet, and I'm sure it will come out, but privacy for his family at this time is the utmost importance. As we get set to go back green here in remembrance of Kyle Busch. Falkingham Mains will take this green flag once again as we get to the restart zone. Green flag back in the air at Charlotte. Great jump here for Daniel Falkingham as Dylan Jones looks to get around Sean Conklin. He's going to work the bottom. Here comes Garrett Mains into turn number 3 underneath the 7 of Falkingham. Side by side, two of the best in this field. Garrett Mains going to get the slide job. He's not clear on Falkingham. Falkingham probably has to get out of it. He stays in it. Now outside, they're going to drag race into turn number 1. That brings up Dylan Jones. The 81 trying to make a move to the outside. He's got around Conklin for now. Here comes Malik Ray. A battle for your lead between teammates in the Coke Series. For now, it's Falkingham who's remained your leader, but I'll tell you what, Dylan Jones, he says, hey, run side by side because I'm going to snatch the lead from you. Malik Ray throws it all the way up to the wall. Here comes Sean Conklin. 25 laps in and crazy racing here in the front of this field. John Ellis, he's up 26 positions now, as he is all the way up to 7th, started 33rd. What a drive for Ellis. As he works behind Eberhardt and Conklin. He's going to use the high lane here, right behind Eberhardt. And that's his view here. And you see he gets a really good run in the middle of the turn. Conklin, though, is going to slide up in front of him here down the front stretch. Sold out crowd at Charlotte. Home to NASCAR. And there's your race recap so far. It's Daniel Falkingham leading. 2 cautions so far. Actually, it's 3 cautions. We're going to miss one here on the scoring and time link for me having to upload everything back again. A couple lead changes so far here tonight. Out front, though, it's still Daniel Falkingham who leads it. A little farther back, Mike Archery in the field tonight. He's up 28 positions. He's in 11. We do have some varying strategy out here on the racetrack. A lot can happen here tonight. Just because the front runners are in the front doesn't mean they're going to be on the best strategy here tonight. You don't know when those yellows are going to fall. Remember, 80% fuel, only 2 tire sets. Brock Westmoreland works the number 81. He's just above Casey Sprinkle. Josh McCullough, as well as his dad, Kenny McCullough Jr., up 13th and 14th. Josh is doing a great job to get up to the front. You got Ashmanoff as well. He's a vet in the 89. As he's all the way up to 12th right now. So this is kind of the second grouping trying to make their way up to the front. Let's go back up front now. Garrett Mains has since gotten around Daniel Falkingham for the first position. As here comes Dylan Jones up to third, Malik Ray fourth, Daniel Eberhardt fifth. Wigan Water Technology Machine of Garrett Maines remains out front. Let's take a peek. Sixth on back is Sean Conklin now. Battles with Ethan Eckert, who's trying to get into that top six. Remember, Ethan Eckert elected to start in the back as your pole sitter to try to win the Daniel Falkingham bonus of $234, which stands for Kyle Busch's wins across all three National Touring Series here in NASCAR. Nathan Harper now works the 8th position as he is in a battle at the moment, I believe, with John Ellis. That's Axel Smith now in your top 10. So that's going to round out your top 10 as Mike Ardrey is right here knocking on the door at the top 10 right now. A great run for him as he is up 28 positions. No one else up that many right now. So Mike Ardrey, one of the fastest on the track. Can he capitalize? Farther in front of him, it's going to be almost near 3 wide. And they're going to think better of it here. Eberhardt, Nathan Harper locked in a battle here. Has Ellis all the way to the top. 3 wide at Charlotte. As we approach the halfway point of tonight's race, 34 of 70 now in the books. Caution flag out. And that's going to be our 4th caution flag, I do believe. Since scoring and timing is going to miss the first one. Kenny McCullough involved, Casey Sprinkle as well. We'll get to that in just a minute. Stay up here with your leaders. And we'll see if these guys decide to finally come down pit lane. Well, Garrett Maines leads. We'll keep it on these leaders here as we pace around, see what they decide to do with the pit stops. We'll get back to the crash here between Kenny McCullough and and Casey Sprinkle. And Paul Ellison carrying a camera here tonight. And for those of you here at PGR, he's racing the Venom Truck Series, a Series I broadcast, and get to see him, man. It's great watching him in the VR with the big eyeballs. As here come your leaders, Garrett Maines, Daniel Falkingham, Malik Ray, a host of others here, down pit lane for the first time here tonight. Brandon Broadfoot's in, as is Dylan Jones, Jeff Merck, pretty much everybody out on, or pretty much everyone here coming down pit lane. The race off pit lane. Who's going to get it? And it looks like Jeff Merck. So we have some different strategies. Jeff Merck is going to lead off pit lane. Trevor Nashroff. Remember, some of these drivers pit. Some of these drivers did pit earlier. And I believe they're probably, a couple of these guys only took 2 tires. So you got Jeff Merck, Trevor Nashroff going to cycle to the front here. And then they're going to gain a ton of positions. And Daniel Falkingham will come out, I believe, 3rd. There's a few drivers possibly stayed out, so there could be a small buffer. So we'll see how this all plays out tonight. And those different strategies definitely going to possibly be a difference before this one is all said and done tonight. keep an eye here on Casey Sprinkle and Kenny McCullough Jr. Kenny McCullough Jr. there. Now he's going to come slide right up in front of Sprinkle. And we'll see here. So here comes Sprinkle. Yeah, wow. I think Sprinkle might have came down a little bit into McCullough. He's going to send him right up into the fence. Yep, that's going to end the night for Kenny McCullough. Heavy damage to the right side of Sprinkle as well. And that's what brought out this pass caution. An unbelievable hit there for Kenny McCullough. Let's watch this in real time here. Yeah, it looks like... Wow, yeah, just get it. Oh, wow, what a hit for the 7. And back up front here, it's Astronaut with the pace car lights off. Going to take this green flag here as your leader. Not sure what happened to Jeff Merck. I thought he had come out. Well, he's back down pit lane, so he's definitely on a little bit different situation. We'll see what Astronaut can do here as your leader. He'll lead Falkingham, Mains, Ray, and Conklin here. That's caution getting set to end here. Here we go. Astronaut is going to choose the high lane here. Above Falkingham. Pace car to pit lane. Drivers to the restart zone. Green flag. Back in the air at Charlotte. Good jump here from Astronaut, but I'll tell you what, Malik Ray all over his back bumper. He's going to put him 3 wide. Malik Ray to the middle. He's going to split him. He's going to turn. Malik Ray gets into it. He spins. And Malik Ray doesn't take too much damage, but he puts him 3 wide, as only Kyle Busch would do, and we love to see the aggression here tonight. But Malik Ray going to lose a ton of track position here. And a rare miscue for Ray. And we got to watch this again. What a move. But it doesn't work. We'll see why in a second. Keep an eye. Malik Ray puts him 3 wide. And, oh, I don't know if it's some net code there or if he just loses it. Let's go back and watch this here. This is the restart. And Malik Ray's, he sees it here. Astronaut's going to go up the racetrack. So Malik Ray's going to get aggressive. Now, Falkingham's coming up. But Falkingham's going to start going back down. Malik Ray's going to go here, draft. And you see them out of the gas. And I don't know. Do they touch? Oh, I wonder if Garrett Maines gets into Malik Ray. Unbelievable. That sends him up into Astronaut. Yeah, Astronaut's actually going to get some damage on the rear here. I wonder if we could get a better view here from Garrett Maines. And man, if Garrett Maines has a penalty, that's going to be huge. We're trying to find and see if we can get another vantage point here. Try the roll bar here. Right underneath. Does he come up in the Ray? Yeah, I mean, it looks like he does. And this could be huge because Malik Ray is going to be in the back of the field. Now this could send Garrett Maines with the penalty. And just like that, this race is going to be turned upside down here with that caution flag. Oh. Keep an eye. Malik Ray on pit lane. Falkingham out here as your leader. What a beautiful night here in Charlotte Motor Speedway. A 1.5 mile racetrack here in the home of NASCAR outside of Charlotte in Concord, North Carolina. Be home to the Coke 600 this Sunday night. Kyle Busch there when he won one of his 2 NASCAR championships there in the M&M's Toyota Camry with his team and the championship flag. One of the best to ever do it in NASCAR. Well over 200 wins between the Craftsman Truck Series, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, as well as the Cup Series. As the view above Charlotte here. As these drivers ready to get back to green flag racing here next time by. Well, here we go, Falkingham. It looks like the pace car actually lights are still on. I wonder if we're going to go back around one more time before we take the green. We will. We'll keep them here side by side. We'll do another pace lap here. So looks like an extended caution flag here. So here we go. Pace car lights out here, and we'll go back green here. I believe Garrett Maines did get that penalty. He's going to be mired back in 30th. So big news there. Malik Ray in 25th. So now here's your running order up front. Daniel Falkingham, Sean Conklin, Trevin Ashford holds that spot in 3rd. Ethan Eckert up the 4th. Dylan Jones 5th. Ethan Eckert has a shot. Has 2 big guns now mired back in this field. And what a night it could be for Ethan Eckert, that is for sure. And one guy that might not want to pay that bonus because he's the one offering it, Daniel Falkingham in the lead. He'll control that bonus here tonight. Drivers into the restart zone as the green flag is back in the air at Charlotte. Eckert in the 51. Well, this third 51 you see, or the second 51 you see in that screen. He is there, up to 3rd place, right behind Conklin. Eberhardt has pulled up into 4th. Axel Smith is in 5th. As these drivers battle, we're going to have another caution. Caution flag back out. It looks like Malik Ray part of this one. Ooh, a big stack up back here. And another caution flag. I believe Mike Odger, yeah, well, here we go. There, it's going to be right there. I believe that's going to be Ardrey. It's going to be part of this one. I'll tell you what, he was having a good run here tonight as well. There goes Brian Hennings again. Max Steinda's involved. Looks like Paul Ellison involved as well. Tough for him to come over here. It's been a caution-filled race. He's going to have left front damage. We watch this one again. I wonder if Ardrey just self-spun here. And there's what brings out your caution flag wearing up into the wall. Casey Sprinkle's got to slow down. Ellison doesn't get on the brakes there. He's going to hit Mike Ardrey in the back. Lisa in the chat tonight. Yeah, we actually planned on donating $100 from the PGR eSports fund to Kyle Busch and Samantha's foundation. And that is called the Bundle of Joy Fund. And if you go to bundleofjoyfund.org, it is a fund that goes to, dedicated to the advancing access to IVF care and coverage, increasing awareness, and providing support so others do not have to navigate infertility alone. They have awarded 178 grants, well over $2 million. 111 babies born and more on the way. And we will send $100 to that fund here this week on behalf of PGR eSports. Money that everyone here that has raced has contributed to, so we appreciate all these drivers. Falkingham, Conklin, Eckert, your top three. We'll go green here next time by at Charlotte. Daniel Falkingham will bring Sean Conklin with him into the restart zone. And the green flag is back in the air once again. A battle here with the 90 of Eberhardt, as well as Ethan Eckert. But Eberhardt's going to have that run off. Ethan Eckert's going to stay on the bottom. Conklin, though, blocks the run of Eberhardt. Dylan Jones going to follow his teammate through here. We'll see if he can get another spot. Axel Smith now up to 6th. 24 laps to go around this 1.5 mile speedway in Charlotte. John Ellis, he works the 7th position still. And we got a big battle here. Farther back, Evan Carlbon part of this one, as is Brian Hennings. Mike Davenport's in the picture in the 55 blaster truck. Alex Hill looking good here at 77 underneath Mike Davenport. Malik Ray trying to make his way back through the field. He's up to 15th. Garrett Maines still mired back in 26th. Hill is in a 3-wide battle here. Ray to the bottom. That's Davenport on into the top lane there. And farther back, it's going to be... Ooh, Casey Sprinkle had some issues. He's back in 27th position now. Jeff Merck. He's going to work here on McCullough and Ray. Kurt Quist still here in the mix as well. These drivers battling hard here about mid-pack. Nearly 3 wide. Here comes Brian Hennings. field spreads a little bit here. We'll see if we can get some green flag racing, and 3 wide again. Oh, wow, Quist. There's McCullough, Carlbon, all drivers just in a blanket at the moment. Stephen Miles having a rough night. He's back in 24th. Didn't expect that out of him. Mike Ardrey, we saw a huge mover this race. He's fallen back as well. It's Falkingham still out front. Ethan Eckert's faded a bit. He's back to 7th, so his chance of winning that big bonus are evaporating here with only 20 laps to go. So single file here in the front. Nathan Harper is right here in between John Ellis and Ethan Eckert. He's had a good run here tonight. And remember, there's 2 groups. Obviously, groups are decided by a randomizer. We don't have those quite for you, but it'll be 10 different drivers winning the payout. Positions farther back. Wow, Jeff Merck, Alex Hill almost come together. As Jeff Merck looks for position underneath Hill. Going to slide up in front of him. Here comes Kurt Quist back on the move in the 81. Malik Ray now up the 12th. He's going to need a caution probably to have any factor back into this one. There's now Sean Conklin getting faster and faster as this long run goes on. Garrett Maines has damage, I believe, because they're already catching him to put Garrett Maines a lap down. So I'm not sure if it was just a penalty that has hurt Garrett Maines. It looks like he has also some damage. He is slow on the racetrack, so he'll be a non-factor here in the later stages of this race. Eberhardt coming alive up the 3rd. Ellis to 4th. Ellis up 29 positions. Biggest mover right now of tonight's race. Conklin on the move. Here comes Eberhardt. And I'll tell you what, the action is heating up here in the front. It's all going to come down to the wire here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we honor Kyle Busch, it's time for these drivers to get rowdy here tonight and put on a show for the fans. Here is a big battle here between Dylan Jones, Brandon Broadfoot. What a run up to 6th. Is Brandon Broadfoot. Now he's going to go after Ethan Eckert. Jones around Harper at the moment. And then it's Cameron Craighead now. He's snuck into the top 10. So he goes around Axel Smith, 4-9. Craighead's coming alive here late as well. Malik Ray back in 11th. He's all by himself. He's going to, like I said, he's going to need a caution or 2 to even have a shot to get back to the very front of this field tonight. Back up front, here goes Conklin. He's in a battle with Everard. Back around is Conklin. These 2 exchanging blows up in the front of this field. Ellis still tracking the leaders, as is now Ethan Eckert. Back up into the top 5, giving himself a shot at this one. Conklin and Eberhardt going at it here. That's what Falkingham likes to see. The problem for Falkingham is he hasn't really gotten too far away from these guys. They're still right there. Ellis there as well. He fights with Ethan Eckert. Brandon Broadfoot still up here in ninth. He's going to fade just a little as Nathan Harper, Axel Smith go around him for the meantime. Astronaut, we saw him at the front of this field at one point. He's back in 12th. As we get some long green flag run right now, possibly to end it here tonight. Hill underneath Carl Bond. That's for position 13. Henning's behind them in 14th. Remember, there's a lot of bonuses. Jeff Merck's in that spot right now to take one of them. In the 18th position, he might just want to stay there with 10 laps to go. Back up front, Eberhardt now under Conklin. Can he make the pass is the question. Conklin is doing a great job in the center of the turn. And he gets that big run off. Eberhardt not finding a way right now around him. This Daniel Eberhardt, who started 8th tonight, trying everything he could do to get around Conklin. Right now, what he wants to see is Conklin battle Falkingham, and that's what he's going to see. Conklin underneath Daniel Falkingham for the lead. It's Sean Conklin to the point. And Falkingham now will have to battle from the second spot. Eberhardt still there. 8 laps to go in Charlotte. It's Conklin's race to lose now. As a master class, he saved enough tire. He's gotten around Daniel Falkingham. Points on the line as well for the Mini Truck Series Championship. There'll be one race remaining at Talladega next week to decide your Truck Mini Series champion before we head into the month of June for the Next Gen Mini Championship Series. And it might not be enough for Eckert to win the big bonus here tonight, but he's still tracking a good payout position as he works on the back bumper of Ellis. Eberhardt here now underneath Daniel Falkingham. That's for second. Can he make it work? It looks like Falkingham possibly some worn out tires there once he was leading. But Falkingham still has to get around him if he wants a shot to go to victory lane tonight. Farther back, it's Broadfoot battling with Axel Smith for 8th. Just ahead of them, it's Dylan Jones in 6th, Nathan Harper in 7th. Craighead is now in a battle with Malik Ray for the top 10. Malik Ray knows there's some cash positions out there. He's going to try to get them. He's now, side by side, Malik Ray into the wall. Gets pinched by Craighead. What a battle between these two. As back up front, Conklin starting to set sail here. As he comes to 3 laps to go. In the Rowdy Energy Paint Scheme Toyota. Sean Conklin. Can he get the victory lane? Eberhardt still working on Falkingham. Side by side, these two. And sooner than later, they're not going to have a shot at this one. Eckert actually right there. 2 laps to go. If we don't get a yellow and we take the white flag, this one will be official. And these two keep racing like this. They do not have any shot at getting to your race leader, Sean Conklin. Eberhardt's going to back up here into 3rd. He'll get another run here, but Sean Conklin off turn number 4 to the white flag here, this time by 1 lap to go. Conklin out front, Falkingham still holding off Eberhardt. Here comes John Ellis to the back bumper of Ethan Eckert. He's under him. These 4 battling for position as we come down to it. But nothing for Rowdy Energy tonight. It's the 51 Toyota of Sean Conklin. He'll go to victory lane. And Kyle Busch, all the thoughts and prayers for him and his family. Rowdy Energy gets the victory lane tonight. Unbelievable drive here from Sean Conklin. And a great green flag run to end tonight's race. Caution-filled first half, but an excellent run as Sean Conklin conquers Charlotte. Daniel Falkingham second, Daniel Eberhardt third. Remember, groups here tonight, but those are your official top 3 for your record books, as Conklin will celebrate here on the front stretch at Charlotte. A great win here and a great tribute to Kyle Busch. The Sickers 51. And it's just awesome to see these drivers out here. All the support for Kyle Busch tonight. Daniel Falkingham there having fun. We're going to bring our third place finisher up here in the booth, Daniel Eberhardt. Daniel, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you know, obviously tonight was bigger than just the race. You finished great, top 3 for sure, and man, you could really contend with these pros, man. You're one of the best here in PGR, but tonight, you know, it's a good time for you to give us your best Kyle Busch memory tonight as we remember Kyle Busch.
Man, there's so many. Through 2007, 2008, he was just a ripper. I mean, him and his brother at the All-Star race going at it, where they wreck each other when I think Kurt Busch was in the gold car and he was in the Kellogg's car, or him and Kurt Busch racing against each other. Just the brotherly races they had together is pretty amazing. I hate it. It's kind of I've been such a love for racing my whole life, and you know, him and Hamlin are the last 2 left that are my generation of people looking up to. Everybody's about my age now, so, and with having a kid coming into this world, it affects me a little differently. You see him a little differently. He's not a race car driver. You see 2 young kids that lost their dad, and that's the way I look at it. And I know, hey, every day there's a kid losing their dad or a mom or something like that, but you know, he's just more in the spotlight, and people, you know, go to that, and that's somebody's hero that was, you know, when they were growing up and stuff like that. So I get it, but I hate it for Brexton and his little girl. It just really just sucks.
Yeah, and I couldn't say it better myself as father now at 40 as of yesterday, 2 young boys, and that's really that's what I feel and think about here, obviously, today and tonight as the news came in here today. But hey, man, you guys were able to go out there and put on a good show here, at least in the second half of this race. A unique experience here for all of us here tonight, Daniel. But a great race from you as always. Third place, and obviously just got 2 tough guys ahead of you there. That's for sure. Some fast guys, but great battle from you here tonight. Some great words, some great commentary there. And before we let you go here tonight, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for all you do. Thank you for putting all this stuff together. I mean, it's a lot of work you do that just does not get recognized. Thank you for that. Thank you to Cody for coming in when Baker's on his little hiatus and doing what he needs to do for this world. And just, hold your loved ones a little closer. And there's one thing I'm so happy I get to interview. That's all I wanted to do. I know there ain't that many people that watch iRacing, right, and do all this stuff. But there's one thing I want to say. I am a hard-nosed racer. I can be dirty, I can be clean, I can do it all. At the end of the day, I'm fine with Kyle Busch leaving this world because he had Jesus as his Lord and Savior. And there ain't many people that are in the spotlight that admit to that, and I thank him for that over the years. And it feels good to know, I'm not the biggest religious person, but I do believe, and it's more comforting to know that in the next life that's where he'll be. So I just had to put that out there.
Well, great words there from you, Daniel. I know it's tough for me to even come on the broadcast and do the intro here tonight, and still feeling kind of a lot different broadcast for me here tonight. Probably not my best, but it was under some crazy circumstances, that's for sure. We'll let you go here tonight. You could go celebrate that third place finish, man, and we'll definitely see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great interview there from Daniel Eberhardt, as now we bring in another man, Daniel Falkingham. A great run here tonight. Looked like he was able to, or looked almost like he was able to get another victory here in PGR, but Sean Conklin a little bit too fast here in the later stages of this race. But Daniel, we're going to bring you up here, and we're kind of flipping the script a little bit here tonight, bringing you guys up here, and you're going to give us your favorite memory of Kyle Busch.
Oh, favorite memory. And there's definitely there's a lot of them, but I would say I think really the first one that really comes to mind is Chicagoland 2018, where him and Kyle Larson have that insane duel between one another at the end. That's probably like one of my favorite races to go back and watch of like the Gen 6 era. So, but yeah, watching him and Larson going back and forth and him ultimately coming out on top, kind of like trading paint, giving him the bumper on a mile and a half, like that one. I don't know why, I just vividly remember that one, and it's that one always sits with me well because it's always funny because like when I was young, when I first started watching when I was 10, 11 years old, Kyle Busch was like the first. He was the first driver I just despised a lot, and I would always root against. And as I grow older and I got mature and got more wiser, I understood like just how much he left it all on the racetrack. And the older I got, and especially later on in his career, I could just see it, especially with how much of a family man he became with when his kids came along. And but yeah, definitely like 2018 was really like the turning point for me. Was when I had so much more respect for old KY when Dale Jr. retired. So yeah, I wasn't old enough to remember. I wasn't watching when him and Dale Jr. would have like their old rivalry back at like Richmond all those years ago. But yeah, pretty much after Dale retired, Kyle was someone I definitely took way more respect for. And but yeah, Chicago 2018, just vivid. I can replay that in my head so many times.
An awesome story there, Daniel. And yeah, we're gonna keep them kind of short tonight. Another great finish for you here tonight. A second place finish, and got your Coke Series again under your belt. The first race here a couple days ago, and flying high here tonight for Kyle Busch. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, just thank you for putting this on as always. Shout out to all the drivers coming out tonight. No, this wasn't your average or typical PGR race, but we knew we were racing for something bigger tonight. So I appreciate all the drivers for coming out tonight. Wish we could have had a bit of a cleaner race, but you're going to get that. And shout out to Conklin on the win. He had me there at the end. I was just struggling with just being really tight, even trying to manage it in clean air. I don't know if it was just being in clean air was just a grief or what, but he got my number there at the end. But congrats to him on the win. But congrats to us as well because I think we did win our group. So, yeah, congrats to Sean on the win. Thanks to everyone who comes out and watch tonight. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. And all my thoughts and prayers go out to the Busch family and all of his friends, family, and fans.
Appreciate you, Daniel, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike.
That was your second place finisher here tonight, Daniel Falkingham. As we continue this broadcast here tonight, we'll bring in your race winner. And it's Sean Conklin, the 51, driving the Rowdy Energy machine here tonight. You got a copy?
I got you.
All right, man. Well, a little different interviews that we're doing here tonight than normal. And it was awesome to see 51 and that paint scheme go to victory lane here tonight. Came on late. Obviously, we're up front all night long, but were able to save enough tire there and really turn the Jets on as you got around Daniel Falkingham and held this field at bay. But tonight we ask you an important question. That's your favorite memory tonight of the late, great Kyle Busch.
Um, I'd have to go with like a personal memory. I think it was Bristol fall 2014, and or it might have been spring. I don't know. It was in 2014. He was outside his merch hauler signing autographs, and it started like downpouring rain, and he turned everybody away, and except for the kids, and he signed all the kids that were standing in line autograph, and I still have that hat to this day. That's probably one of my favorite memories of him, and along with all of his wins. He's been my driver since day one, and it was a real shock today. It sucked. Put a big wrench in my day to see that, and it probably will for the next few.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely understandable for sure. It definitely shook the world, NASCAR world, even pretty much the whole nation. You've seen a lot of the news circulating, obviously the mainstream media as well, and seen some posts today. You know, people obviously weren't race fans, but a lot of people knew still who Kyle Busch was, and he did him a lot of justice here tonight with some great racing to get that machine up there into victory lane, Sean. And big night for you. Obviously, a different day for all of us here in the NASCAR community, race fans as well. And obviously, going to be a tough weekend with all the racing and real life going on. And going to be an interesting watch, that's for sure, is the Sunday night's Coke 600. But we've all been here before, obviously, with Dale Earnhardt Sr. way back in the day. We saw Greg Biffle, although not, obviously wasn't a current driver at the moment when everything happened with him here this year. But it's just another, obviously, tragic death here. And, obviously prayers to Kyle's family, especially his wife, his daughter, and his son as well. And I'm sure it's going to be a tough road for them. But the least we can do here is honor him the best that we can. Hopefully we put on a good broadcast and honor him here tonight, Sean. But before we let you go, as a big Kyle Busch fan, man, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Just shout out to you guys for putting this on. I don't really run much of these. I think this is one of my first time running since the PGR 500, which I didn't make. So yeah, it was fun racing tonight, fun racing everybody. Got a little chaotic, but we were able to get through it and get the win.
Well, go celebrate that win, man, and hopefully we could all enjoy the rest of the week, watch some racing this weekend, and see the awesome tributes I'm sure we're going to see for Kyle Busch. Thanks for joining us up here.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
That's Sean Conklin, tonight's race winner here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As we look high above here, as we'll show you those race results. It's been for sure a different night here for myself, as well as everyone that has taken part in tonight. As you see, Sean Conklin and Daniel Falkingham, as well as Daniel Eberhardt. Top three tonight. Ethan Eckert, a great run. And fourth, John Ellis, fifth. Dylan Jones in sixth tonight. Brandon Broadfoot, seventh. Nathan Harper in eighth. Malik Ray, ninth. And Axel Smith rounded out your top 10. Cameron Craighead in 11th tonight. Alex Hill, 12th. Trevor Ashburnoff in 13th. Evan Carlbon, 14th. Kurt Quist, 15th tonight. Max Dinda in 16th. Brian Henning, 17th. Josh McCullough in 18th. And at 19th here tonight, Jeff Merck. Brock Westermelin finished in 20th. Sean Corbett, 21st tonight. Mike Davenport, 22nd. Paul Ellison, 23rd. Garrett Maines, 24th. It's Casey Sprinkle in 25th. Mike Ardrey in 26th. Jude Rand took 27th. 28th tonight, Stephen Miles. 29th, Andrew Zanto. James Waring finished in 30th. Jacob Booth, 31st. Joey Allen in 32nd. Kenny McCullough Jr. in 33rd. Chase Mistretta tonight, 34th. 35th, Kevin J. Cunningham. It's Tyler Vickery in 36th, David Flanagan 37th, Tucker McClendon 38th, Jet Rashidi in 39th, and rounding out your 40 truck field, Jacob Dunn tonight. And that's all I got tonight. It's been a definitely a rough night for me back here. Just hard enough to get through the intro. Definitely a lot of thoughts on a lot of our minds here tonight for sure. But we'll leave you with one more tribute to the great Kyle Busch.